Hi, everyone. Mystery Sports Picks. I'm Peter Loshak. He's Mike Brenner. We're the Odds Couple. We are from SportsBookReview.com. It's Week 8 in the NFL, and we're going to do our weekly call with Jordan Sharp, looking back at the injuries from the previous week. We're actually doing this on Wednesday, a little bit later than we normally do it. But, some weeks there aren't that many significant injuries. This week, Mike Brenner, I'm seeing quite a few, actually. Yeah. We'll see what Jordan Sharp has to say about it. The first one I want to get your take on is Tevin Coleman, right? You're high on the Falcons in general. You had a good read on them. This week, you like them again. He had a little hamstring injury, and I think he's going to be out for this game, right?
He could be. Matter of fact, I think he is out.
Yeah.
And they have that 1-2 punch, but I think they'll just make some adjustments. They'll use Freeman in a different way.
Yeah.
And look for some screen passing and some more downfield action from Ryan. But that injury won't pull me off my pick.
All right, Jordan Sharp, running backs, a lot of times I feel like running backs are the least important injuries that there can be. In certain cases, though, they are very important, especially when you have like a 1-2 tandem here. What's your take on this one, Jordan Sharp?
I think you're just going to see a lot more Devontae Freeman. I'm with Mike. I don't think this really hurts it too bad because I think Freeman he's not as great a pass catcher on third down as Coleman and not as explosive. Obviously, he's more of a big back kind of through the tackles guy. But I think they'll still use him in the passing game. They'll switch it up a little bit. They'll throw more of the tight ends, use Julio maybe in the slot a little bit, to get those short yardage gains. I think they'll find ways to get around it. This offense is good enough to make up for it. It hurts, but I don't think it's going to kill him.
All right, and then LeSean McCoy, generally banged up. They tried to play him last week. Maybe that was a little bit ill-advised. He's going to be banged up again this week. How much of a negative is this Mike Brenner, I know that you're loving the Pats anyway, so just injury news on McCoy just makes
if
you
McCoy's
like
hurt, don't worry. We got Reggie Bush behind him. He'll do fine.
How big of a deal is McCoy's injury for you, Jordan Sharp?
Much bigger than the Tevin Coleman injury. I think that because of how good he's been and because of how they use him, I think it could really, really hurt them here at home, especially against a good Pats defense. So if they can't establish a run game, we already know their passing game has been in trouble this whole year. So that could be a serious injury, especially. And you're still only at 6.5 here for the Patriots right now. That surprises me. I'm surprised we haven't seen that line go up even more.
All right, and then the next one, Josh Norman. I believe he's out. He's officially out, right?
Is he? Definitely,
yeah. He was a little bit banged up before. Now he's in concussion protocol. If he's out, are the Bengals maybe looking at a field day here offensively?
That's kind of one of the biggest non-quarterback injuries that I was looking at this week. I know the game's on a neutral field, obviously in London, so that may take a little bit away from the Bengals. But if the Bengals are on, they're one of those teams that if they're on any Sunday, they can drop 30 points. Yeah. Eifert's getting healthier. Whether or not he's going to play a big factor in this game remains to be seen. But yeah, I'm kind of with you. The Redskins' defense, secondary especially, was already very, very banged up before Josh Norman. Now it's even worse.
Yeah.
And I don't even think Norman's fit in there quite the way he anticipated, and that takes time, but I think that's going to even hurt him more. Eifert, though, I was wanting the update on that, the tight end from Cincinnati, because he is huge, a weapon, huge weapon.
Yeah, that's a big weapon. I believe he's 100% good to go, right, Jordan?
I think he's still kind of making his way back. I wouldn't quite call him 100%, but because I know he was on limited snaps last week. But I think that I heard earlier that they plan on increasing that because he came out. I think he came out all right. I'll double check that. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that he'll play a factor, but I don't know if he's completely 100% just yet.
All right. Also, the Redskins had an offensive lineman, Trent Williams, got injured in the final seconds of last week's game. So maybe injuries will be affecting the Redskins here quite a bit. Mike Brenner, before we get Jordan Sharp's updates on other injuries, is there anything else you want to ask him about specifically?
No, actually, that was really about it.
Those are the big ones, I think.
Yeah, I think they're the biggest of all. And again, Big Ben, he's down again. They're not playing this week, but as far as what's going on action-wise, I think that's about it for me.
All right, Jordan Sharp, what other injuries do you think we should discuss here and take note of?
Yeah, Eifert is expected to have a little bit more of an expanded role this week. He only played 15 snaps last week. We'll see about that. The Cardinals are dealing with some wide receiver injuries. I know Jerron Brown, he tore his ACL. He's out there. John Brown, I know, is banged up. I think that could be a very, very big injury list to watch here against a cross-country matchup against Carolina. A lot of people are down on Carolina right now. This could be a perfect bounce-back spot for them against a Cardinals team that has really struggled in many different assets, especially the passing game this week. So that's kind of the other bigger ones I'm looking at this week. Other than that, just those quarterback injuries. Jay Cutler's back, baby. So fade the Bears. That's all I got to say.
And what do you think about the Dallas Philly matchup? Because of course Dallas, this is an injury. Well, this is the healthy news. In healthy news, Dez Bryant is expected back, and then at the same time, Philly, they had a suspect thin secondary to begin with, and now Ron Brooks, starting cornerback, he's down. So Philly's getting more banged up in their secondary right when Dez Bryant is coming back, and Dallas is off a bye. Is this maybe a very, very dangerous matchup from a health perspective, Jordan?
Yeah, and I'm a little weary of the line just because it's at 4.5. You know, it's kind of one of those that it doesn't really attract you just immediately once you kind of first take a look at it. But Carson Wentz has kind of been the league's starting to kind of figure him out. He's lost kind of a little bit of his mojo that he had early in the season. I think that plays a factor in this game. You're right, Dallas coming in, getting healthier, and this Dallas team has already been impressive when they're banged up. So, and when they're healthy, I think, like it stands to reason that they probably will be a very, very popular play this week.
Yeah, I agree, and I like what you said. As far as Wentz, they're watching more film, they're figuring him out, and it's not a knock on him, but that's just what happens. But I think this Eagles secondary is banged up enough to where I think Dallas continues this momentum roll.
All right. Sounds good. I think we have a handle of the injuries for this week, and we'll be back next week with Jordan Sharp to take a look at the notable injuries from NFL Week 8.
Thanks, Jordan.
Do your research before you bet. Check out our ratings guide to see which books have the best ratings and sign-up bonuses. Open up several accounts and shop for lines at sbrodds.com. Always be ahead of the game.